Hello, Richard from budgetguitarist.com, the website. So I ordered this Comica Boom XD wireless microphone system. And before we do anything else, I'm going to show you the unboxing video, and then we're going to come back here and I'm going to demonstrate it and talk about it. So here we go with the unboxing. Let's see. Well, we got a box here that came from Amazon. I got a cardboard cutter, box cutter I think it's called. So now I'm trying to figure out, well, that's not a tearaway strip. It looks like it should be. Well, this is fascinating. Oh, yeah. So inside the big box we got a little box, and inside the big box there's also a little Amazon logo thing. It looks like they taped that box together. So here we go. Comica Boom XD. So here's all the different sides of the box, and now we're going to open it. So opening this box for the first time, inside the box we have got a nice container. Very solid, nice. It's got a zipper on it, and then we've got a whatever the heck that thing is, a little Velcro strip. And then we've got the manual, and inside of the manual bag there's also this little reset tool, which is kind of like a little paperclip looking thing. So let's take this out. Man, I definitely had too much coffee when I shot this. Look at that. Okay, so there's the reset tool. Reset tool, I guess, is if you want to reset it to pair it to something else. Pairing this thing is basically one button press. So we got a little card here, who cares? We got a little warranty, fascinating, who cares? And then we've got a manual, which no doubt will be written in several languages, one of which I will need. Just kind of flipping through it. I would refer to this to tell me what the buttons did. And you can see it's got the usual diagrams, etc. and so on. So let's unzip this thing, see what's inside. Ah, very nice. So on the bottom we've got our transmitter and our receiver, and then up top we've got a bunch of, well, there's our do not eat packet, and then we've got a bunch of individually wrapped adapters. Now, I did think this was a nice touch, because different phones use sort of different cable layouts. And so for each cable they've got a little tab which is labeled, like this one, Sony, Panasonic, etc. They've got that for each of these. So this is really cool, because one of these cables I ended up using with my iPhone, and then I ended up using a different cable to connect this to my Apollo Solo recording interface, which is what I'm using right now. So which one is this? That's Canon and something else. There you go, Canon, Nikon, etc. Okay, so here is the recharger cable. And so this is USB on one end, so it doesn't come with an actual plug. And then it's got like you can recharge 3 different things at the same time. So I've got a transmitter and a receiver, so that's 2 of the 3. Now what's this? Well, I'm glad you asked. I will eventually open it, and then I'll be able to tell you. This is the worst unboxing video ever. Oh, it's a little furry pet. Yeah, it's like if your finger wants to role play as a guard at Buckingham Palace, you could do that, right? Or it's the dark tribble. That's what it is. Very nice. Tribbles don't bite. They don't have teeth. Anyway, here's the lapel mic, and that is what I'm using right now. It's got a little Velcro strip. And in case you're wondering how long the cable is plenty long to either put the thing in your pocket or even in your back pocket. and pretty cool. Yep. And if that shorts out, you can buy a replacement. So then inside, here's the transmitter. And you can see it's got a little microphone on top. It's got a clip on the back, right? And it's got a charging port, reset. Here's your on-off, mute, microphone input on top, plus the microphone on top. That is the transmitter. Slick. So the other one, by default then, must be the receiver. And indeed it is. This is going to sound silly, but I like how they labeled it like white text on black. It's super easy when you pick them up to see which is which. Sometimes, you know, you get like a gray device and it's got gray lettering on it. And I just really appreciate the fact that you can really easily tell which one's which. So there you go. That's what the unboxing looked like. Okay, so why did I get this? Well, for the first 2 years of this YouTube channel, I used a wired lapel mic. So it was a lapel mic, looked just like this, and it had a long, skinny wire that had a little mini amplifier in it that ran on a watch battery, and then you connect it to your audio rig. And I actually went through 2 of those, and I went through 3 different microphones because that stuff is cheap junk, basically. Sounds good. I mean, if you want a lapel mic for like $29 that sounds as good as most other lapel mics, you know, that's a good way to go. But the problem is, I make a video a week, so I make about 50 videos a year. I've made over 100 so far. And that frail little cable just didn't hold up. Plus, I would forget stuff and I'd have to get up and walk across the room to pause the camera, and you know, the mic cable is everywhere. And anyway, so I've used the Rode system, which it's like the wireless Go, or I forget what it's called. What's it called? Actually, that is what it's called. I've used that system before, and it sounded, you know, like every lapel mic I've ever heard. And that was $200, and the Comica system was $125, so almost half the price. So having used both, what do I think in terms of sound quality? I think the Comica is 90% as good. I mean, most lapel mics sound pretty similar. So for almost half the price, you get 90% of the quality. That's just my personal opinion. So that made it a really good choice for this channel. Now, in retrospect, if I could go back in time a week, would I buy the Rode instead? No, probably not. I would probably buy this again. So I've been testing it and playing with it, and as a matter of fact, you're hearing it right now. It works really well. Let's talk about what I like about it and what I don't like about it. If you're considering buying one of these, here's some things I like. It comes with a really cool case. Like, instead of some little cheap vinyl plastic bag, it comes with this substantial thing that you can zip closed. It's got you know, a space for the transmitter and the receiver, plus this area up here where you can put your cables, etc. So that's really nice. I like that. The battery life is more than good enough for my purposes. So how long does the battery last? So I've used it for 2 hours before, and the battery's held up fine. I don't know how long the batteries will literally last, but for my purposes, 2 hours is more than enough. If I've shot 2 hours worth of me talking and Tony has to edit it, he will quit. If you have a YouTube channel, and really that's why you'd be watching this video, pretty good. In terms of setup, it couldn't have been easier. I read the manual for about 15 seconds. There are not very many buttons. There's a pair button. So you turn them both on and you press the pair button and they pair up, and then you're done. If you ever decide you want to undo that, there's a little tool that looks like a paper clip that you saw in the unboxing video, and that's how you do it. That'll reset it for you. Transmitter has this lapel mic, and let me show you. I don't know if I'll be able to zoom in on this or not, but here's the transmitter. It's also got a microphone on top here. And if you don't want to use this, you just want to use that. Maybe if you have like a shirt pocket, then you could put this inside the pocket. I've seen some people like clip the big box to their shirt. I think that looks dumb. I'm not doing that. But, you know, your mileage may vary. As I noted in the unboxing, it comes with a bunch of different cables. And if you use a little adapter, a little headphone adapter, it will work with the iPhone. I've done that before. I just prefer to record it directly into Logic Pro because Logic Pro's got the really good editing tools. So I can use a bunch of like plugins on it and make it sound better. Speaking of which, if you record with a lapel microphone, sometimes it's a good idea to use a little bit of compression, a little bit of EQ. I use something called an aural exciter. Aural, A-U-R-A-L, is that how you spell it? Which is basically a technology that was huge in the 80s, and it adds high end without adding hiss. So that's kind of cool. So far these have been all good things. Now, what don't I like? Well, one thing I don't like is that the USB plug it comes with doesn't literally come with a plug. It just comes with USB on one end and the three, well, let me show you. It comes with USB on one end and then these three little connectors. So it's kind of cool that I can plug both of the boxes in. And if I had a third box, like another transmitter, I could plug that in, charge them all over USB. But I can't plug USB into the wall. A lot of modern computers don't come with USB anymore. It's like Thunderbolt, and so I need like a little wall wart adapter thingy. And I don't know. I just think that it's nice to include that. Like if I didn't have one of those, how am I supposed to hook it up? Anyway, don't like that so much. Other than that, I mean, what's not to like? The boxes are plastic. They don't feel like super professional high quality. You would not want to accidentally step on one of these boxes because it would totally smash. But I mean, for 125 bucks, you can't really expect anything different than that. In general, I have a lot of positive things to say, and so far the only negative thing I've found is the that I don't like the fact that it didn't come with a cheap little wall plug. So I think that's pretty good. Like, it sounds really good for the money. I think it's super easy to use. Couldn't be easier. I'm very pleased with it. I love the fact that now I can get up and walk around the room and I'm not trailing this fragile little cable. All these are good things. I like the fact that if this microphone shorts out, I can just buy another one for not much money and clip it right into the transmitter. That's a good thing. And for my purposes, I give this 2 thumbs up. So there you go. I'm impressed with it. I'm super happy to not have the cable. And I know this video won't be all that interesting to most guitar players, but for anybody thinking about having a YouTube channel, well, I give this device 2 thumbs up. I already said that. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoy this content, please consider subscribing, and I will see you again next Friday at 5.